Hi, so welcome again to the Tank Diaries. This week we've got Max Baker and Dan Wale from Patas Arriba in Bournemouth here to talk to us about their business. It's been wonderful getting them both in. They've been on an incredible journey so far, and we're really excited to have you guys here.
Thanks very much.
So Max, why Tapas Bar?
So the initial concept was actually mine and my mum's. My mum has lived in Spain and lives in Spain now, and we've always had like a pretty good connection with Spain. My grandparents lived there as well. But in terms of the tapas concept, it's just because it's the style of dining and drinking and that we really like. You know, it's really social. It's not formal or anything like that, and that's how we enjoy eating. You know, and having lots of small dishes and food alongside drink and that kind of thing. So Patas Arriba means upside down in Spanish.
Okay.
Is that the phrase for upside down? And then also patas is an anagram of tapas.
Right. Yeah. I should
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. And Arriba is kind of a bit more of a, I guess, a recognisable thing. So there was a few different ideas. One, because upside down kind of seemed to fit in terms of what we were doing, popping up in different places. And then because you can kind of have a bit of a recognisable twang to Arriba, kind of everyone kind of recognises that, I guess. So Patas Arriba seemed pretty appropriate.
With regards to funding, did you borrow money from family? Did you save up yourself? Did you just try and piece it together as you went along, grow out organically?
Yeah, literally, we started the first Patas Arriba event. I think I spent about 150 quid, 200 quid or something, and made £2.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we grew it completely organically from November 2014 up until was it spring this year, I guess.
Yeah, and that's where sort of again from a business perspective, it's been really interesting because like we both did it alongside full-time jobs to begin with, and then that sort of developed. And like Max just said, we weren't making a loss. There wasn't loads of money being made. There wasn't a huge pot that was accumulating. So at that point, obviously, there was a decision that needed to be made, which was, do we do this alongside roles, into the future as a? It was always a business, but as more of a hobby. So it's just something that Max can use his creativity from a sort of cooking perspective and give food to people, make enough money to make it worthwhile and leave it there. So a lifestyle business. Or do we want to grow it and turn it into, a growth business and sort of expand it, get staff on board, make more money, etc., etc. So obviously we made the decision that we wanted to grow it, and that fundamentally changed everything.
Okay, so you formed it 3 years ago, and you've got another company on the side. There's two sides to your business now, isn't there?
We started our second company, which is the Makeshift, which is a sort of anything food, booze, or events management related, and that gave us the ability to do both. So we could honour the Spanish branding with the tapas events, but also service the demand for non-Spanish events as well.
What would you say are like the most important lessons you've learned on this journey?
I passionately believe that you cannot get too engrossed in what you're trying to do and not look at the signals. So we've been really careful that if the business isn't working, we've changed it, no matter how much we like it, or no matter how much we think the format is right, or whatever it might be. We've both been really strict with each other that if it isn't working, we'll change it. One of the things when we first started, it was in that time where everyone was absolutely obsessed with how many likes or how many followers you had across social media. So I know that that's sort of still half true and half not, but everyone had this passionate belief that if you had 10,000 followers on whatever platform, that was going to equal a return. And one of the things that we realised quite quickly was that actually you can have 150 followers, but if out of that 150 followers, 145 are people within your demographic and within your area, you can translate them into paying customers. So even now, 3 years down the line, we still haven't got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, but I would wager, and I'm sure Max would agree, that the majority of those people that follow us across all platforms are potential customers.
Yeah.
So that way, if we get it right and we can appeal to them, then we do see a conversion.
Yeah.
And although it's everywhere and you hear it all the time, do not underestimate how difficult it's going to be, because no matter how organised you are, and I know this is all cliches business-wise, but no matter how organised you are, no matter how much you think you're on top of it, no matter how much you plan or you organise, you will get curveball after curveball after curveball of stuff that you cannot think of.